Yes. So, until the Omoyan, the Omunim by me make my catcher say, the Omoyano said, part in the Panin, Mrs. Yao, said, into me. If he said, so we've been a choir and Casabi and Home because you change up, change up way. This is a chairman party about on team basis. That's also a chairman, dear. There's a party also.
All right, I will see you be Akwaba na ya from Bramege TV and platform we eso. Mr. George Otibonsu ayeden wa expose Dr. Muhammad Bawumia Abronye eni napo. Ni na ne sesa wo bekaya eni enyema train anasa dey trend pie Abronye ni behavior ana attempt a odi aso asi ye Kennedy Agyapong ye ne so empo ena me no kase wakotena movement TV den esentwa na dapa etwa na dapa wo mreko yewura Kennedy Agyapong onyanye boni bia na mom no kware any party no eno peniye abusia mempese mekase bebre yenko na yenkotie Mr. George Otibonsu hawa osi eka ne nsem esifae na yekoba bedina kai na ebeto aso na yayedem na bibi etimi akoso boko edi ama ebusia yankopon enkoso enhira yemfa credit no ema okay FM wane kwa no nkonomatic sie ena mo twetwe sankomo yentie nsema George Otibonsu awoye yewura Kennedy Agyapong ne brother nkasa afenso MPP financier yenkotie nsem nibi yakoba yebeto aso
yewura George Otibonsu woye businessman kese pa yeboni dia na ya sori so wo pesika pa dia ene bensan no uto no abo full stop na woye MPP financier enso so na ye ne no enidi enkomo Eja George Otibonsu bra bedumi mo achi
o de mi dia shada kamna o bon zambe yo
engofo gra ni so ye bedu na miwa Kennedy akompre kwa Japan so ne ho tesai
Kennedy nyameda ma ne ho ye pa no ye
mate na no yenka bi nhemu eje thank you so yi yewura odi animu na wadi animu a eja wono anabofra wotete no na obi anim se ne twetwero mutwo no chairman Abronye kwa mbafo sore ya ese kutiabo ese die ya kansem bebre yewura soso na sabi ye twato so na ate wono anka bia na yakoye no kore ema wono so atu nanum tuo kirekire nsemu eno akire de ba ye emu atem didie enom ne ade nyina no sabi mu a ajabobo ni chidom na motene kire no mo gine sai na mo wi a efri hinsu na baaye
Well, medical actually OTF na bibi ebese I think say politics na ebese ya tasne banyansa fo as you say yesi abobi be kawane efri ontumam na politics na omo yen sisi ana omo nse esebi o amna bi na omo tu atuho ama omo nkasa mo if you say the one person who you be ano omun say Abronye Kennedy ne man be do some person so o do no na o twa na ho san e ka nsem e bi e fa Kennedy ho
sasa na no kura
say obi o gana bi enim say so bi Kennedy ni pa o bo mo wi ase doso so na say o bo wi na say o be do some person so na say umobi ebe show kutupa that's sebio almost koyesi ase wa ya wanga so wa mana utu atu onu obusiem dache so adia wo ye no o ebi o fi se enye ne fe ba dache sam ebia ni babi ekobabi na ekodu babi anya abonye mbani obusiem o die se ya no motie so no onu se ye no be section dache if you say you know say time one Kennedy said you yewi ya okase senapo ebeye idia obeboano napo betimi afre senapo ni mu bia nka ofre friend say Abronye amana stop dada
na
napo ni mu bi ena Bawumia so ni mu bi no ntino ena o mo hye no kutupa ama na yes saade no
na mira what the car bo na podin sisi ya then na asem we de then fa na po hu
oh kwame se bibi course sisi ya na se bi o kana di be ka na po hu na omu eye campaign no omu ye wie no se bi o bibi course na omu entimi anwi na se bi die na course entum wie na Abronye so eye no ntum ka je se Abronye de wo ye no se ni kwa se wo ye sa se penye ntafi ma asodion fo ansa na ye yata ndi se bi woti wa omo yiwe no ya won to stop wo mo no ya wana wo susu na wo ye vice e ma Bawumia no ase nyema wo camp ase won to stop wa ba so bele wo so that means only will be
na sabi obekasa Abronye wa original chairman o eti ono obekasa agise obi na share kutupa say kokan we
oh sir o chairman enye chairman bia ni chairman wo he sabi o chairman for abagana na hwe omusu ena omubaya utumi enye Abronye nkwa na sabi o chairman ba chairman for abanyina no ofa wo dia Abronye eto omomo wo bia wo fia oba
wo do am tutu omo abon ba bia ofire eba na sade wasi abokọ adue se yewura Bawumia ene yewura Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe wo mo nim hu bi ene wo mo yesa because wo mo enka asem de ba say yewura Bawumia be ka se mo obi ani di atem mo obi a enka santia de sese no nyesa ebetete party no eno no o kasa se tese waka no ana
oh senior o kan independent sukwa kwa na men ka se menjo kokona no o Kennedy camp
no kre
by okoye bi okaka setia Bawumia ema Kennedy eyinifi ho bi entina sana panyine ese wutra fi na wo ye nenka o ma kokona so sa me no sa na senka sebi bi obuka se ye kokona eye no Kennedy enimu bi so beden mi fia me ba na onu me ya agene
me no ya agene pa me no ya agene
yes so entin de omo ye de omo nim ba me ka jo se de omo ye no se party ni se panyin ni se sia o se die o intumi hu no e se so obi ne kwaye ya nka sabi o nko mo se ya twen safre no e twen safre we se chairman party e ba bontin be say that's what we chairman dia e se party no o se no
ayo won wa se
mo bi fufu kwa enye wo chairman o so we bro chairman no
edi ayo won wa pa se national executives no obi anfa akrata ma abonten me condemn de oye no
of course so it is that I think kwame enko no if he says Fabio chairman for no he nano me hu bibi ewo friend say to say untumi say see ni say no chairman for mo yi omu yara Fabio minim ba bia omu ko share omu yi sa chairman for no so we say Fabio say dun katia ama NDC ay akono zia na say dun katia ama NDC ay akono na mo say dun katia o
ai ubetimi sua
o ba ni say wonu ma wonsia
ubesua
na party amako opposition mun trafi en shed dinti amako opposition na mu mistake en ko to na say na mu to na ato hodia ye say e to ji o mo nkasa se da omo yi se bi ni papi en tiasie ba o so kwa nim de o mo ye age ebi so Kennedy no o tie no o pani obi anim mini o pani bi kasa na so o ka che me se Kennedy pa na de say ni so babu se na me yakwa no na me kasa sa akwa ba me pani na se me kasa se pani Kennedy so ko fa na se ma etwem bi banne sa me na ka o ka na so president edina o ka se bia woni a face of nigga say mo ni we say they are different and they pass by the same say wo de ko rumors no ko pop now say you now oye pop no wo ni de na o ya say na obe pop
Debbie
sa I think say now oye no dancing abi na o mu sa na no o de pop
ai
it is a guy you fan start you know and I see some now we see ye chum nti misemo money call say on your face you are woni no some ya also prepare president you know o se na me akwa na me ka sa akwa ba me pe no me ka sa pe ni ngene she Ghana is a businessman baby ya ko na nyina no businessman no obi ya obi ma ay Ghana yi no kwale me ka se me choose ya but me ka se me choose
me ba so me tie bra
me Ghana wo de se Kennedy the champion friend say president ya wo so say friend say John Mama o ni friend say
Ibrahim Mahama
Bay Mama me say anto ba ma Kennedy that's a Bay Mama wo NDC that's a basket of president dey am come no go campaign man me ka say o NDC nti me kwa campaign man be say he businessman
as I say baby Abronye a businessman
yes
because that no na me ka say Ghana ye ababy abaso otumi kwaje bosia okwaje bosia na onfa ma business no wadi businessman bia ni ho so be sa
me pato ma ka so nto Abronye say Kennedy unya contract Kennedy unya contract me boa
ani
ame kwame said
also unya contract
parliament any ministers show o mo pi anya contract but when na dini sika aye ma Ghanaians enya asofa so ya o mo ya adwuma o Ghana na he de o mo so dem ka ko to buchiri na o mo dem ka to dan ya buchiri no na so said unya ka Ghana eso wa ye contract o ka o di bia no o di no e Ghana no o fa skala ko to buchiri o di skala ka say ye no Ghana 37 adia o ye 37 consume $6 million
wow
adia o yo Tamale hospital so sani pare yes sani mo na kwa so won kwa bi Ghana juma nyina ma no ele na o ye ele o nyafa so no o boy o man Ghana kwa no a say Ghana for kaka libano the way papa we ye san ni pa no na se be ye Ghana kaka ma no obetini e di ahwe o man Ghana e bi so o fan ko to ba bi se bi ko to ba bi na enyamia no ko yi edi mama wala Ghana sanko phone any here so meet na baby Ghana you am just kana no mo ko na buchire no
na papa edi enti na amanyoko ba ko amwo mu obi betimi atu nani anahye obi kutu pase wontu nani nsi yewra Canada complex ko Agyapong say primary school amon hya ase na edi enti na ebe ma saade na ba munso edi ade a
o so omo won say ni weak point e say enti no obi so be no say e Abronye enti no say Abronye e ko isi a bit my say enti no o mo hwe no kwan bi a mo so egu nani mo say by yamin ko word o tete so e yakwa is that Kennedy or a man of the movement do obi yel bi a bi nyame beka na no kwe
de nyame bɛka ɛna ɛyɛ no korɛ de nyame bɛka na ɛyɛ no korɛ ampa wamanyɔkuo MPP mulusu yei minim sɛ Professor Michael Kwe committee de nsɛm ahodoɔ aba na menya we de mame musa ɛdeɛ ba adeɛ pa na ɛsɛ osusu sɛ amanyɔkuo no yɛ ɛne kanifo a muhia no wadi kan kase muhia businessman the likes of Kennedy Akompreko Agyapong mu esa ɛdeɛ ba ebio na ɛsɛ amanyɔkuo no yɛ ebetimi ama motimi awo nipa 2028
kwame gise mpanyinfo no de ɔmo nan esi fam na ɔmo de nneɛma egu akwan mu sɛ deɛ mpanyinfo ɔmo di kan no yɛ a sɛbio ɛyɛ akɔnɔ ma ɔmo timi ba power no akyɛ ne mu yɛ ɔmo de gu kwan mu a ɔmo betimi fi sɛ menka nyan ho yaw yɛwɔ nneɛma bi a esisi yɛ mpanyinfo no nyinaa yɛ a wɔyɛ President Kofo Edina na ne batu mu a sebisebio Bawumia eyire ekubu medano President Kofo Edina na tumu ekosi federal so tama sani ma mu nyana ekoso ye e ma sebisebio o ere de o mu nyina wo se sani ma mu ye no ene so kan bi ene sebio abano yanya so na wo se mu de moni ekosi kere de Agyapong so se na se fie kura no won tian se fie na bontina wo bitna sisi ana do ka secretary Agyapong over to you if you say ade do the bia say wo Bawumia ene e friend say napo mo equal e London you share no mo ka say you no ye ka say you no ko say ye ba Ghana ye be aka kan watem ofani ka aso na friend Bawumia e premier mi ba ma friend trust ka wa fa na fa ni wo e pa ni yo pagini bi ha sabi wo onye leader ba ko kwa bi se obi a won timi NCC ofi abonti na obi twa NCC kwa me bi zawo
dabi untimi nya saa ba wo mo pese Bawumia
o de fi asa na wo kwa abonti
ba wo mo pese Bawumia ba no wo mo asem nyina ne se te sɛ deɛ yɛde Kofo kɔ baako mienu miɛnsa no yɛde Nanado kɔ baako mienu miɛnsa no saa na Bawumia nso no Ghanafoɔ afi aseɛ ehu papa ɛwɔ no mu sɛ adoa yi ama na afiri kontomfi enti no yɛmo nsa ɛmane ɛnkɔ bio no wɔnkɔ biem wɔkɔ biem a Ghanafoɔ sɛ deɛ wɔn nyinaa ehu firi gadochi enti no obi a ɛbɛyɛ sɛ wobɛyɛ threat ɛde ama no saa nipa na ɛsi yi ufiri hɔ na fe kwa mu tinima Bawumia sasa ministers what bia
oh mate ba kwa me enye adwuma se bio obi a wa ka se bio watch dollar now the key no ekoma IGP na se wo no se bio dollar na e ko do 17 na se wo tin fa bi me ma wa ho na wo ko jina wo se wo di blame ekoma obi a na wo ni dia wo ye and you say Kofo call back on one country ma for say watch the dollar the kino come IGPO Kofo do an ka say wo no so watch dollar agina ho na wo the key come and you one nema say do ba bia wo be ye no na say twa abo intini say wo say Kofo come impresa ko enye sam any na twam enti Kofo comprehenso ko na yo Kofo ene ye no sebi Kofo do ene ye no enye bi na o mo ye sesi no mi se senka o pese se nka Abronye mo ye sa nka ene friend se huntumi TV ni se ni ngo o mo stop ni na ama sebi asem no efie no o mo maka asem no efie ba o ba se asem no we support ye wo mo yesi no I am not o mutwa to mo party no
eti se pa baby amugina no se enya de a ye wura Kennedy Akompreko Agyapong ebetumi abaye flag bearer agitumi amamo a MPP mo forget one
so yeah businessman pass see e Ghana kwame so be say you can tell ekunsu it's some maybe the real economy a businessman or himself with my Kennedy dear. A phone phone na Kennedy. But pay for your almost no. Minimum detail almost so and see and crown so air for mono and crown so eledoso. No, you said more trade and chronic cat as the almost the only baby on me out. So me out or now or Mojo or Maniso. Me also make a MPP, Maka NDC say, me say, Kennedy, so or more man, I'm a man of fire, so dear, young trouble, that's a unya, fine. And so I'm quite smart to get beer or money, a pay. Me who said me, very mama, NDC, never could want to say, support a born I'm a power say, honestly, businessman, I am. He said, he didn't have born. MPP NDC back. But you have to pay the power with my boy Manoa. I think there will be a cool Bayano.
Oh, yeah, where your pa. Now, the last question. What na what by pants war? One boo no say, once some as he saying.
Oh, come in, see, court. Yaminti be
Mate.
If you say now, or say, MPP Batawa, and you know, or by MPP Amatawa. And now Omupa and Quaso Omkubu will be dying, and come be on better. It's just a who are them, that's a Sebu, and if I said Kwame, Jamaica Kwame, my own wrong. That's a wouldn't say a touchment to see. I will see. You told we see and there will be a sit down SEO. That's a Sebu, Ope, Montagny, Eddie. That's a William Equi Bibia. Almost a million, but dear Mujano, so the people a fee and the come on. Internet, Ocean knows the I don't want to go to your wrong by, and I'm saying in Ticana. Okay, my men say goes million traffic, me if you come up. By the other question, and be as well, one traffic, not one could permit, one could was me vice president, you didn't know who there were. And I don't know, said you 38, you know. In the 38, you know, a father of court, times, I say,
oh, but almost in there before I won't go from to a man called Twabakra.
Of course, send make us a man or more to and I'm coming on and then I'm going to go in a effective power.
I see, sir.
Of course, no, I'm going to call one I go to for. So, no, Kwame, said you. If it's from Kwame, them about them.
The new are some more damn.
Ah, new was a president, but not said you, Umami didn't enter a unit, Umame, and I'm going to be power when you say. Come in, sir. We say if you knew that's a while because I am mentioned as I come in.
Debbie.
Very easy. And you say, one tree, I knew none or two, or when a month or two. Easy say, so the you won't go most so what Nippona. Almost your Manasum Baku, we are. And a son of almost one and more happy the whole gun I show up and a commodity. By any point of Manasuno, Bumpo will be a choke. Number was almost a quadriable.
Mira, my men now was Sinami Senior Pama, but the Mepe Brebina Yaba studio near Bedin Comopa.
Mate, what?
Everybody is Miss Medas.
Can be the other day. So you a church of me a chum dada. So I said family and so we be a bit affected. Number the work out here. So you any some no cut of president.
Miss Medas, Mira, Miss Medas.
We now must hear try and come on the so and say, my main say we promise that Ebenya Ghana's minority leader in parliament in the Agyapong Komo. Production more available with his new title and picture. I'm waiting me with that, or sign any picture if you have it. Waiting me boy. But on Mother's Day is just around the corner. I'll tell you much about that. You need to celebrate Omame in a very special, unique day. A safari day out with your mom. Multimedia Jumekono Eka was a medical. Namiadma Memen the 10th of May 2025. Anopanon du copim and you mreno nsia. She said Joy FM and Safari Valley Eco Park. Mausa Kwenya way. Once in a yellow moon be, you get out of the normal things and do abnormal things. Indeed, almost say corner course celebrate to mommy or consum kusukra indeed, and they package in a fekeke, lunch buffet or live band, and a beer and quadribit media graduate money, and in your mabibria, a kikakika home. Remember 10th of May, Mother's Day 11th, and my fee, in the 10th of May, time near 10 to 6 p.m. She say. In paying nipa baako biya ye 950 Ghana cedi na fe in between teenagers nso no 659 kwadaa no kwa no aye 450 per head. One edehye gu akwam ti ehyan be free Joy from ha na de wakọ sa bia ho a ye kan wasem so woni gye ho say we part of this safari day out with your mom. First number is 059 3038 842 059 3038 842. No wait me wedding inkita ho. Ebiana opese oto ho asi nso. Staff number is 0302 216 540 0554 594 727. Registration no a close to 12 noon on Friday, May 9. Osahina kwaba.
Eja. Wapom today.
Oh, nyamiadum.
Good.
I think that you have this release here, and we are jumping straight into it before other matters will come up. It's signed Osahene Alexander Kwamena Afenyo Marking. And I tell you for making your indulgence a quick one. Incident at Parliament House during the Save the Judiciary demonstration. I write to strongly condemn the reprehensible and disgraceful act of violence perpetrated against me by a uniformed police officer, Constable Forson, at the entrance of Parliament House during today's peaceful and highly successful Save the Judiciary demonstration. As the leader of the demonstration, I led the protesters together with the leadership of other political parties to Parliament, one of the designated stops on our route, to formally present our petition. Earlier, we had delivered copies to the Supreme Court, and from Parliament, we were to proceed to the Jubilee House. Upon our arrival at Parliament House, the national organizer and other party leaders had already been granted access. The Deputy Minority Leader, Honorable Patricia Piaji, and I were then invited by the party's Communications Director, Mr. Richard Ahiagba, to proceed and join them. As I approached the barricade, without any provocation, a uniformed police officer stationed behind the barricade, Constable Forson, a tall, fair, heavily built officer, deliberately struck the left side of my chest with the full force of his right palm, directly near my heart. The impact of the hit dazed me, and I was visibly shaking and short of breath. In that moment, I spontaneously protested his conduct, asking why he would seek to harm me. The inspector, who was facilitating my access along with other officers, quickly intervened and assisted me into the restricted area, where I had to lean against the wall at the entrance of Parliament House to prevent myself from collapsing. A national service personnel from Parliament, whom I know, approached and offered me water. 2 CID officers from Parliament also came to check on me and assisted me to the nearby security restroom, where I laid down on bench to stabilize. Mr. Richard Ehiaba, Mr. Henry Nanabuachi, and the MPP Greater Accra regional organizer stayed by my side throughout, providing support and ensuring my well-being. After regaining some composure, I was helped to the washroom to wash my face, and though still unwell, I made a deliberate effort to compose myself, calm myself down, and rejoin the leadership of the delegation to present the petition, determined not to let the incident create a scene or derail the purpose of our peaceful protest. Following the presentation of the petition, senior police officers and the Deputy Marshal of Parliament attempted to locate the officer involved, but he had mysteriously disappeared from the scene. It is suspected that he may have been discreetly removed to prevent further attention and avoid scrutiny. Had this act of aggression become widely known in that moment, it could have compromised the peaceful character of the entire demonstration. What makes this assault particularly egregious is the officer was being openly reprimanded by his superiors and fellow officers at the time, who cautioned him against his conduct. Yet, he defiantly responded that he didn't care who I was, leader or not, and that he would carry out his work regardless. It was a deliberate, reckless, and targeted attack by an officer who clearly knew my identity and close to physically assault me in broad daylight in the full view of his senior colleagues. It is therefore most unfortunate that some individuals who would seek to twist the narrative and suggest that I was the aggressor when I was merely protesting the officer's conduct. This unprovoked, disrespectful, and shameful attack is a stain on the professionalism of the Ghana Police Service. Throughout the demonstration, the conduct of officers at the Supreme Court and the Jubilee House was commendable, professional, and respectful. Some were even sharing water for demonstrators, a testament to the discipline and decorum expected of public officers. What occurred at Parliament was an embarrassing and dangerous departure from this standard, and it is unacceptable. Accordingly, I am formally filing a petition to the Inspector General of Police to demand a full investigation into the conduct of Constable Forson. There were numerous senior police officers who witnessed the appalling conduct of the constables firsthand and can corroborate the events. I have always respected and worked cordially with the Ghana Police Service and hold our law enforcement institutions in the highest regard. This incident is a disgrace to the standards and professionalism expected of those tasked with protecting citizens as such. It must be treated with the contempt it deserves. It is evident that elements within the NDC's propaganda machinery are now weaponizing this incident to deflect attention from the overwhelming success and peaceful conduct of our demonstration. Their aim is clear: to distort the narrative and shift focus away from the core constitutional concerns we raised. We must not be distracted from the purpose of the demonstration. We must to defend the Constitution and the independence of the judiciary, principles that must be protected at all costs. In light of these facts, I urge all media outlets and the general public to refrain from spreading misleading narratives and to join me in condemning the unprofessional and disrespectful actions of Constable Forson. Signed, Osahene Alexander Kwamena Afenyo Markin. On this very rough note, once again, Memo Akwaba. So you've captured it and you've been invited.
Oh, that's okay. It's good. I mean, but it can police phone statements, you know. Better ibisa. On questions be. Police say, viral video.
Yeah.
And then they don't even talk about the one paying our parliament in Umpo. I report among. But they also state that they will investigate the officer. So I think it's a balanced statement. And we say we are a country of rule of law. And that I also petitioned the IGP. I sent a petition man and that. And I've made that available to the media. But I Nancy, I've been preaching against retaliatory politics. And the fact that oyena power, oba, the way they behave as politicians, where sometimes we feel that power nti zaye peneye. And it does also, you know, I realized that Nyankopon was putting me to test. It was
How?
Okay. Because I'm preaching against retaliation. I'm preaching against vengeance. I'm preaching forgiveness and unity. That the politics must be more decent and we must come to the center. Then this thing happened. A constable, Sebi, Abronye no, women age man beyond 30. Enyan soze pretending that Sebi. Onyim here. Ni penini je n'enyim. Na ototo no nse ntimi hye da hwe da awahama wo ne hu da onyihwe. Na me hwe ni name tag no hu da wa tro force. Oho. And I asked myself there, no be leaders, more police paying also leaders should enter to present the petition. And there was an inspector, Ujina me left, Webwe, and Ujina barricade nature. Then Honorable Patrick Bawumia, now Honorable Kennedy Osenyakun, they were entering from our right. Into many deputy minority leader, Okamu was Mitchell, because throughout the demono, and then they entered. What enter now? Then the guy from nowhere, what enter America because they had entered. Then I was using and say, and hit me hard, and he aimed at my heart. Okay, he aimed at it. He just hit me like, young man, why do you want to kill me? Have I done anything to you? I was like, And in there, Michelle, Oshe, goggles, onwazo, and I had an efesum. It's unfortunate how some public officers sometimes, when you suben bia, and you're careful, now also quote unquote, I catch on there, Sabi, also by retaliate. But I am sorry, I am Bufraba. Minjin there, Wabobra. I'm praying that higher powers of the realm would give him light to realize what he did, so that at the right time he apologizes.
But not to side entirely with you, how some public officers and politicians also behave when they engage or they encounter our security officers. Sometimes it's not sitting.
Well, I'm not here to be hypothetical or talk about other incidents that I don't know of. Let's limit it to.
So the name is forcing.
Yes, that's the name I saw.
Until after the incident, then I'm paying for no catch.
Well, when in fact situation it was bad. So on my hand, I didn't want to create a scene because the crowd was charged. They were so charged on in the demonstration, and I didn't want them to know. Into police for now soon bibi them, so me movie straight na me cop trail a wall and the parliament main entrance because na me jahoma on ye, so me cop trail and then stay there moment. Then one national service officer, or also leader open and then CID for 2 our parliament minimum embassy so minimum there were in parliament staff police for be what from then the deputy marshal also showed up, and then Bawumia came to ask me, the leader, we okay? Na me say look, Wontumi kraba me pede obi hu, and then Agyapong pulled through. I think the regional organizer too came, was in the regional chairman, and then Nanabi came. So they took me to the security room. Then the bench, I lay on it, and then
any police person there at that time when you
the CID for 2 no, and then those were the 2, and then they led me walk on the leader young corner call who were men. So Agyapong was leading me, was by my side, was in front of me. The CID from the CID for 2 no walk on. Then the marshal followed, the deputy marshal. Then I took some deep breath, did some relaxation, but I was asking myself, so marshal wanted the police officer to be identified because he said Parliament would have to make a report. And see, the guy was nowhere to be found. Then I just said that quickly, let me make a formal complaint, send a petition to the IGP. Then I realized that typical of the politics we do, rather when I was protesting his action, some videos were rather being circulated and creating a certain impression. But I would want to urge the gentleman, the look, Manana Sebi Waba policeman, he may have his partisan interests.
But why are you jumping into conclusion that the reaction of the said gentleman was
not reaction, his action.
His action was induced. Politically.
I'm saying that if
we don't do if.
Well, I'm saying
he's
that
a professional police person.
Well, but I'm
so
saying
the conduct of a police officer is contrary.
Yes, sure.
Then they don't come with inducement.
Yes, sure. So what I'm trying to say in there, his conduct was unbecoming of a police officer.
That one.
However,
based on your account this morning.
Right. However, if he has his own partisan inclinations, he should put that aside. Because broad daylight, a call is made, an invitation is made to the leader of a demonstration. He is entering, and then you use your hand.
Panyai.
I mean, because like I said initially, I see it as a test. Because if you are preaching unity, if you are preaching an end to retaliation, then you yourself, somebody has mistreated you this way. It's a test. Whether a bobana to there or chinebi party in your power, a better where the power lies, and you forgive and let go. But that's my side.
All right, so that's it. So let's leave it to the police.
Otherwise,
but you avail yourself.
Law-abiding citizen.
Okay.
If the police say, I have petitioned them as a victim, as a complainant, I expect that on the basis of my petition, they would invite me to even elucidate, or they would write to me and say that we have received your petition. They have also issued a statement. After my statement, they also issued a statement and said that they have seen a video that has gone viral. Say, read it to the public so that we can discuss it.
So what was the import of the demonstration anyway?
Well, the import of the demonstration, as you are well aware, was basically...
So a quick one, not to cut you or sign just a
let
minute.
The public know
just a minute.
That what was happening.
Police invite Honorable Alexander Ferramakin to assist investigations into viral demonstration video. The Ghana Police Service has reviewed several video footages on an alleged assault on a police officer by Honorable Alexander Ferramakin.
Enti se kase Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia any MPP executives binum ehye ye papa Kennedy Agyapong omuhye Abronye echi eno mudi ye papa Kennedy Agyapong atema ye kan won se nkofo nti ase ye kan nkofo nti ase en no kware nso ena ye kan Medika catch them. Me ba life enemy kai. Se Abronye anhwe yi. Abronye anhwe yi a sebi obu sebi nyado. Party no obegunu. Obema party na ku position because empanfo e wo party menya o madwin se obo be fra Abronye aka bibia kire no. If this continues to happening, the party will be in opposition for a decade. The party will be in opposition for a decade. Enti meka na ma sign warning ediama eye chema Wontumi. Madika kan say every Friday na sa Abronye na nkasa ma abonti emme pa achawa. Omobeti yenka. Ye mubi no omobeti yenka okruma. Because Abronye party no mo for me no na o yakwada. Omo for me party no na even osin twitwi ko enye twitwi miye. It is then and will be our former party, or be a dinisika, a bo party hunka, or your party who a japadium, chese, party ni kwa huni him or party yes more. Abronye 2008 oh sorry ya party the infamous aka wa adwen champagne for more. Ebasa ebe eti yeka susudia sa Abronye DC enjai sa nimu hunu ne matantan ene sa enyamo ho sem na ode boye papa kende Agyapong na obehu ni smoothness level okro ha ye mu binum ebeba abontin abe blast no because kukuru enjai keka so enjai abusia meso so be subscribe na wa like na wa share afoforo enye bia hanom your number 1 authentic platform Mega TV mame fanchi mame roye bi e obi bia hwe Mega TV no I salute you bye bye.